everybody to another installment, another edition into the Invest podcast. I'm your host, John Ross. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Also follow me on Instagram at All Things Invest with 3 T's. All Things Invest with 3 T's. I want to shout out a local business really quickly before we get started. Off the Chain Bike Bus. You guys looking for some fun with you, your friends, your family. They do bachelor parties, they do family outings, they do birthdays, weddings, all that. Scenic tours. Off the Chain Bike Bus is your new fun party solution. They actually got a 15-passenger bike bus. Book with them now. Book a tour at sactownbikebus.com. So now my next guest that I have a pleasure of speaking with is doing really great things in the print and garment business. He works really closely with a mutual friend of ours, Herman Carter, also known as Got Buckets. I'd like to welcome my man, Cedrick to the Invest podcast, man. Cedrick, how are you, brother?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Definitely, man. Man, we are in the month of September. It's fall. The weather's changing. It's football. We still got the crazy COVID stuff going on, but hopefully some more people can get vaccinated and we can just kind of keep turning the corner with that.
Right. We need it.
Most definitely. Hey, man, give me 1 second. I want to switch out my headphones really quick. They're making a buzzing noise. I want to switch them out really quickly and see if it kind of helps a little bit. I want to apologize to y'all, man. We have a little technical difficulty. You know, sometimes with this podcasting thing, everything goes real smooth. You know, some days, sometimes these difficulties. Put this one up. So, definitely, man. All right. So, Cedrick, before we get started, man, can you tell everybody where you from, brother?
I'm right here in the hometown, Sacramento, California, born and raised.
And 916 boy, man. I definitely love that. One thing I like to do, man, is whenever I can is get on the podcast and show some local love to my fellow Sacramento business people, my entrepreneurs and things of that nature. I definitely love that. I feel it's really big that we support each other, man. So definitely want to ask you, man, what got you into the print business? What got you into the garment business? Matter of fact, how long have you been in the business?
I've been in it, doing it steady for like 7 years right now, but I started in when I was 18 in high school, and I had like a little gap between, and then Herman Carter needed some help with his stuff, and then I was right there in the midst of it, so I was like, let me see if I can get something going for him and see what we can do, and then everything started back up right then and there. It was a little bit easier because we had YouTube and stuff like that, more than what we had back in the day. So it was a little bit easier to start up, but it was good.
Yeah, I remember I was asking him about, you know, who did his work for him. He's like, man, my man Cedrick Syas. He said, man, you got to talk to him. I said, man, the work is dope. I was a big fan of it. Maybe talking to you about getting some stuff done myself. So I want to ask you, with your print, what is the process that you use? What printing process do you use? I've seen some paint and some different things like that when I was kind of seeing some of your process, but can you explain that a little bit for us, Cedrick?
Yeah, I do Silkscreen. So basically what Silkscreen is, it's almost like taking a picture, basically exposing a picture, but you're exposing the image and it goes through the mesh on the screen and basically takes your image and is able to get the ink and let it go through your image and put that image on a shirt.
Wow. To be honest with you, that's actually one of the first times I had actually seen that. I've seen different types of print, but I had never seen that type of print yet. And I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. So, man, getting back to you and Herman Carter, man, the guy, he's really started to kind of get this Got Buckets thing like growing, blowing up a little bit. I know he's been on this grind for like 5 years now, man, and this took a minute, but let's talk a little bit about the process. And I feel like what some people don't understand is like right now in 2021, we live in like an instant gratification society with the internet and everything like that. And Instagram and YouTube, and some of these people, a lot of them aren't actually living the way they partake, on Instagram. So let's talk about the process. It takes time and grit and grind to really build something up. Is that right, Cedrick?
Yeah, definitely. If you don't get the process, that's where you're going to fail, because there is so much to doing things that you get involved with. Just like me, it's a exposure, exposing screens, learning about inks, learning about curing times from the heat on the ink. It's just so much to it. And if you just jump into it and just want to get something right away, you will fail immediately. And that's the bad. You got to go through the process. You got to put the work in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. I tell people that all the time. Matter of fact, bro, I bought a print press one time, right? And I was trying to print some stuff because I watched a YouTube video and the guy was like, man, you be print shirts in like 30 minutes, blah, blah, blah. I didn't fully believe it. I kind of knew it would take a little longer than that. I fucked up some shirts, man. I was like, damn, I'm paying out of pocket for them. So I'm like, I definitely got respect for what you do, but man, like I said, anything is a process. It took a little minute for you to get good and perfect that. Am I right?
Oh yeah, man. It took a while, especially from way back then, 20 years ago, because the process has changed and it changes a lot every year. They always coming out with something new inks, something bigger and better. And you got to stay ahead of that and do your research and find out what's going on. Are you a fail yourself?
So you definitely, with that, you have to have a growth mindset, because, you being like somewhat of an OG in this, and you said stuff's evolving all the time. You got a lot of old dogs that don't want to learn new trick, but in order for you to stay relevant, for you to stay on top of your game in this business, you're a dog that got to learn new tricks, huh?
Right. You have to. You'll fall out the business right away if you don't, because everybody you're going to have customers that want that. Yeah, you're going to have customers that always see something new and they're going to want it. And if you don't have it or you're not up on it, they'll be gone to somebody else.
and there's a lot of game. There's a lot of game in town, right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, you got to keep this shit popping. Hey, I see a shirt you're rocking right now. It's Dunes. What's that about? Let's talk about that, my man.
Dunes, this is just a young aspiring artist. He's been drawing ever since he was young, and he decided to go ahead and start a company and just start expressing himself in apparel and seeing what he can do. And I think it's going to be real good. You're going to see some good quality, some nice prints, and just a whole bunch of excitement coming out of him, because he's really passionate about his stuff.
Okay, and what was the young man's name again?
Now you didn't caught me.
Oh, good. Hey,
it's Dante. It's Dante White. It's been a long day.
Sometimes, man, I be bad with names. Sometimes I'm great with faces, but sometimes it just takes me a second. And sometimes when I'm remembering some people's names, I try to think of something that makes me remember that person's name, because I'm
I think I deal with so many people and so many brands and stuff I'm working with, and it just don't come right away. I had to think of who I'm talking about.
I feel you, man. So I read that you're really big on us supporting local business and things of that nature, and you being an entrepreneur yourself. What advice would you have, Cedrick, to a listener, be listening to this right now, that wants to go into some type of business for themselves, whether it be garment printing, whether it be just a different type of business? What advice would you have for them? One thing I would say is just respecting the process. But in your own words, Cedrick, how would you put that?
I would just tell them to be patient. That's a big thing. Do your research. You know what I mean? And dig, and whatever is in your heart, you know what I mean, let it out, and just keep, keep searching out your dreams and your passions, and just don't quit. Just never quit. No matter what happens, never quit. Just keep going, because it just might, at that time, it might not be your time, and your time will come, long as you stay in the game and just keep following that process.
Because a lot of successful people that I've spoke to, people I've, watched documentaries on and things of that nature, many of them were like, I gambled on myself.
Right.
I took a risk. And when you are a business owner and you are an entrepreneur, you have to be willing to bet on yourself, believe in yourself, go out there and learn, respect the process, and just kind of take a gamble and say, fuck it, I'm betting on me, right?
Right. Yeah, you have to. That's the big part is you. You're not all. That's who you, at the end of the day, who you looking at is you. So you got to be able to.
Yeah. I'm also, for me, I'm a big believer in trying to just only surround myself with quality people. I listen a lot to Les Brown. He says, put good quality people around you that are going to, bring you up, that are going to uplift you, that are going to support you in one way or another. Do you feel having a good circle, whether that be just one or two people, having a good positive circle is good as well? Am I right, Cedrick?
Yeah, that's correct. You got to have the people that are like-minded and the same as you, because if they're not, they'll pull you away from what you're trying to do, or they'll discourage you. And there's just all types of elements that can happen. And so it's better for somebody that's in the same lane as you, because they'll be able to lift you up. They'll be able to push you to keep you going. You know what I mean? That's huge. You have to. That's a must.
Definitely. So I also know you're involved with the church. I also know you do spend some time talking with our youth, trying to mentor them a little bit, trying to keep these kids, on the straight and narrow, kind of keep them, on a positive track, having them chase, good and positive dreams and goals. But that gets a little bit shady, a little bit hard these days when we have access to all this technology. We have the internet everywhere. It's showing do this and do that, this and that. It gets a little bit harder. I mean, it was hard back in the day when I was a kid, but it gets even a little bit easier now for these kids to kind of go a different route, just with access to all this technology. And the world is just so goddamn fast now, right, Cedrick?
Right. Yeah, it is. That's why I give a free class for the kids. Okay. And I do like 3 at a time, and just let them come and get some hands on, and let them see that they can actually, the stuff that they're seeing on this YouTube and different things, they can actually create that stuff themselves, and they don't have to get caught into what somebody else is doing, and just keep watching them. Go for it yourself and see what you can do. And that lifts up a lot of kids when they see that they can actually do something. Yeah.
Instead of watching the next man on the damn thing, why don't you look and see what the hell you can do then, huh?
Yeah.
Definitely, my man. So, what are some of the brands, or what are some of the businesses, local or not local, that you have done some work for, my man?
Well, right now I'm working with you already heard about Dunes. I'm working with Dunes, and then I'm working for the retail therapy session. My daughter with her clothing line. And so we do some stuff with hers in the Cloud9. And then I do some things for Nose Teray, J5 Property Solutions.
Oh, wow.
Got Buckets. We know that.
Yeah, we know about we know that.
Yeah. Rock Ball, Pacific Sunrise. Do a lot of stuff for Pacific Sunrise and the young artists that's coming up, and they're getting involved with their clothing brands and helping them get some exciting things going on. Yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot of names to.
Hey, so man, I'm guessing with all this popping off, man, your days and you stay pretty busy. Am I right?
Oh man, always, all day, every day. I don't never get a break.
Oh, it's a grind. Like, even me myself, man. Launching the Invest brand, and I have that's at the top, and then I have a few like parts of the business. Like I have the podcast that I do. I'm a nutritionist, so I do meal prep.
Oh wow!
I'm a personal trainer, so I do like online programs for people, and I'm working on the app. So then I'm still working at the job at the moment full time too with that, kids. I got a wife.
Yeah, me too. It's all a part of the grind.
Yeah, so it feels good to speak to somebody that kind of the same, and kind of like understands that. It's like, man, it's like I never really realized until I got older I got busy. I got into business. And when I realized just how little 24 hours in a day actually really is, man, I'd be having to write down like, how much time I'm going to spend on each thing.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to do this. I want to do that. So so with you, man, you be having to kind of like prioritize, okay, I'm gonna get this done today? Or have you ever gotten to a point to where you just try to tackle hella shit at one time and you just got overwhelmed? I've been there.
Yeah, that's a lot. That happens to me a lot. I got to put myself in a lot of deadlines. So sometimes I'll be up, I work too, and sometimes I'll be up till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of like started working with brands, because it's a little bit easier to work with a lot of big business, and then they want a lot of demand. You know what I mean? So I started working with brands a little bit more, because then I have a lot of free time to, organize stuff out here and there, because they're not always like high demand. They want to make sure they get their stuff right, and then we can take our time and go through the process with them. So
just kind of something you've been learning along the way, kind of like just to kind of like helps you kind of maximize your time, huh?
Right.
Most definitely. Yeah, man. Let's talk about your daughter and your wife's clothing brand boutique that's known as Cloud9. Am I right?
Cloud9 is one of the brands that's inside there. It's
Okay.
actually the retail therapy session.
Yeah, retail therapy session. Okay.
Yeah, Cloud9 is in there.
Part of it. Yeah. Okay.
Right. We're about to start building a lot of brands actually through the retail therapy session. I'm going to start like an inspiration type of wear, and that we're going to get going on there. And that's another project that I'm actually working on, taking my time, and you're going to see that coming up pretty soon.
Wow, I love that. So retail therapy, and then basically the Cloud9 is a little brand within that line. Am I right?
Right.
Nice. How did that come about? Like the name retail therapy, and then when I seen Cloud9, and I read something about 9 things that bring me happiness, and I thought that was like really dope, like tying that together. When did that come about? How long was the idea actually pitched before it actually got put to action? I know there was a process.
Oh yeah, it was a process. It started off with my wife first doing the retail therapy session, and then my daughter had just decided she wanted to get into clothing, because she does a lot of singing and stuff for the church and stuff, and she has her own ministry and stuff, and then she really wanted to reach out and touch some people in a different type of way, to let them start to tap into their own self and who they are and what they like. And so that was a ministry that she's kind of like coming through into clothing and seeing what she can do with it. And she's actually been doing pretty good. She's actually reached out to a lot of young kids right now. And we're going to start trying to build that a little bit bigger and get out there.
Yeah, man, I definitely love that. You'll see me posting and definitely putting it out and supporting that, man. Local business and definitely some local love, man. So for you with the church and everything, did you grow up in the church? Is that something that you got into later on? What's your history with the Lord?
I was born and raised in the church, but you know how that is when you get out here in these streets, you kind of step off a little bit until God bring you back in.
Yeah, definitely. So, God's kind of helped to keep you on that, on a better path. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be doing this right now at all. He's the one that put the people in the right place and set me up with good people and surrounded me. And that's how I was able to get this stuff going and get what he put inside me to get it out.
Yeah, man. Because I said my man Herman, he was really satisfied with your work, dude. So you help to make people's, like, you put their brands. Some people, you put their dreams, some of them, on garments. You do that, right? You're doing something that you actually love to do, which everybody isn't doing that.
Right.
How does that feel, man, when you got a satisfied customer? You see your gear online and your shit looks good, man. How does that feel? I don't think put a dollar amount on it, but what's your words on that?
It feels good. And then a lot of the times I feel like it's my responsibility. You know what I mean? We got a lot of stuff going out there right now. And, you know what I mean, with this Black Lives Matters and different stuff like that. And people saying a lot of stuff what needs to be done. And I'm just you know what I mean? Just for me to just get out there and, like my dad said, don't talk about it, be about it. You know what I mean? Just to get out there and do something for somebody to try to make some real change. And when it actually happens and that person grasps onto that and they start to do something different and start to fall in love with something else different, that feels good to me, because you're starting to see that change and the growth in people, because they feel like, now I can do something. I'm capable of doing. I'm not just have to be here doing this what other people is doing. I can actually do something myself that people, you know what I mean, like and want to reach out and touch. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's big. That's huge to me.
That's really big time. Yeah, man. This last this last year and a half, probably longer than that, we're gonna probably almost going into 2 years. This COVID it's been pretty much a wild ride for all of us, the kids, the grown-ups, the whole world. People's out here acting crazy and fighting. It's crazy, because I thought, like, when we had all the lockdowns and everything like that, man, almost like we was living in a movie, man. Almost is like, what the hell is going on with this COVID stuff? And I thought that it would be gone by now, and this stuff is still just hanging around. It's just kind of be part of life for a while, man. So that's just, man, like, how does that affect you? Like, were you still doing good with the prints and the business and stuff like that? Or did you feel that or anything like that?
Actually, at first it hit me for a minute, but then when I realized it was actually something that was able to set me down and able to look at everything that was going on around me, to able to come up with something different, because a lot of times you're moving so fast and you have no time to think and to do nothing. And so now I was able to sit down for a minute and restructure some stuff and then go at it a little different way. And so for me, it turned out pretty good, because I was able to touch, because a lot of people was at home getting bored, trying different things. So it actually brought a lot of people towards me, and it actually worked out pretty good, because I was able to do more videos, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. I was able to get, you know what I mean, do a little bit more private classes, meet with some people and stuff like that. So it turned out pretty good.
Nice. So, Cedrick, man, before I let you go, man, if anybody was looking to get in touch with you, maybe they're looking for a consultation to see what you can do for them, printing on garments, you're looking to, shoot some business your way, how do they get in touch with Cedrick Syas, man?
What you have to do is you can either hit me up I'm on Facebook, Cali Silkscreen Pro, Instagram, or you can hit me at my email. Is the best way. Is that it's CaliSSPros@yahoo.com. That's CaliSSPros@yahoo.com.
My man Cedrick Syas, Cali Silkscreen Pros, putting in work, dope merchandise. You heard from the man. Get at him. Cedrick, I'll get at you again soon, man. You enjoy the rest of your night. You take care, brother. It's been nice.
You too. All right, you too, brother.
All right.
Thank you. All righty.
All right.